Indonesia and the Philippines are among two of the fastest growing nations in the entire Asian continent, registering gross domestic product growth around an average of 5% annually. With close ties due to their geographic locations and quite similar industries such as natural resources, it is vital for the two nations to be reliant on one another. Hence, we can see that among the Southeast Asian countries, the two's bilateral partnerships are continuously growing. According to the OEC, they had a collective trade that resulted in close to $7 billion in 2020, heavily influenced by trades in the automotive and electronic sectors. One of the most notable results within the association is Indonesia's state-owned enterprise, PT Inka, where the Philippines National Railways had bought several DMU rolling stocks capable of transferring thousands of people. Furthermore, the two nations have enjoyed very strong business ties together, which resulted in grooming thousands of startups, one of which emerged as one of the best financial technology platforms in the Philippines, known as Coins.ph, which used to be owned by then Gojek of Indonesia. But these have a more deep history and relations with each other, spurring billions upon billions of dollars worth of value. But before we move on, don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe for more. The Indonesia and Philippines relations date way back into ancient times, and it goes all the way to European occupation, where the two nations had similar stories. One was held under the Spanish Empire, while the other was held under the Dutch Empire. But significant interactions emerged in the modern day, with the latest on its diplomatic treaties coming up in November of 1949, the official year that Indonesia and the Philippines have finally connected after receiving their independence a few years before. This treaty emerged among the most important in playing today's role for the entire Southeast Asian bloc. After all, it was the two nations and Thailand, Singapore, and Malaysia that inaugurated the association called ASEAN in 1967. Since then, the two's relations with one another continue to emerge. It played in every single sector. The most important is the public sector of Indonesia, as it had an emerging state-owned enterprise list capable of producing several products. With the Philippines largely relying on its private sector, it was crucial for the Philippines to import several goods, some of which led the ongoing modernization of the Philippines' military capabilities, where they purchased Indonesian warships, aircrafts, and other equipment. The Indonesia-Philippines relations also enjoys one of the best business collaborations across Southeast Asia, and among the best partnerships we have seen so far is the result of the so-called First Pacific Company Limited, an investment management firm that has operations all across Asia, but majority of which resides in Indonesia and the Philippines. It has two key people within the company. First, its chairman, Anthony Salim, famously from the Salim Group, and its managing director and CEO, Manuel Pangilinan, one of the richest and best businessmen in the Philippines. These two have worked hand in hand to operate this holding company, and through this they have worked on investments and helped improve the top businesses of the two nations. Some notable companies that are under this entire framework are the Philippines PLTD, a telecommunications company, Metro Pacific Investments, a diversified company with interest in the Manila Electric Company, several transportation initiatives such as the Light Rail Manila Corporation, and more. In Indonesia, it has interest in Indofood, a producer and distributor of several consumable products, and so much more. This corporation has enabled the two to have a very strong business partnership, which emerged to become operators of several entities, not just in Southeast Asia, but across the entire world. These are just some of the prime results of the bilateral special relationship that the Philippines and Indonesia have enjoyed throughout the years. The coming future for the two is very vital. Why is that? Well, first of all, they are both positioned to become the next economic destinations across the entire Asian continent, led by their growing economies. With such integration and similar economies, the need for continued and stronger partnerships are very crucial to enable a better market landscape, changing our focus from what once was agriculture, where the two nations had a strong partnership with the product of rice and other crops, to the partnerships in automotive and defense sector, and ultimately becoming a partner with the coming digital and technology age, which is likely going to be the biggest change in the future.